Welcome, Doug. I hear you're in the Great White North again, up there in Montreal, with all those cheaters up there in Canada. But you'll muddle through. Okay, let's get right into it. It's kind of gone quiet when it comes to the U.S. men's national team and the vacancy right now. Are you hearing anything, or is it as quiet up there as it is down here?
I don't know if I agree that it's quiet, Alexi. I mean, we've heard in the last couple of days all about Pellegrino Matarazzo and that he's been offered the job. I had one person tell me, and this is not confirming anything, but telling me that was accurate, that was true. And then I had someone else tell me that it wasn't. So the latest that it seems is that it's something that's not happening. I'm going to try to get this right, but Florian Plettenberg, who works for Sky Sports in Germany, about 2 hours before we're recording this, said that Matarazzo is expected to stay at Hoffenheim. So his contract there is up at the end of the year. It might be a typical agent play to try to leverage getting an extension. I do believe there was some smoke to the reports out of Germany over the weekend, both from Bild and Kicker, and I believe Sky Sports Germany as well. So there's some truth to it, but the idea that there was an announcement imminent, I think is wrong. And by the way, I don't think we're going to get any announcement over the next week here. As long as the U.S. women's national team is involved in the Olympics, I don't think U.S. soccer would want to upstage them. But it doesn't feel like we're close to getting a new coach for the men's national team. This week at least, and maybe even before the friendly against Canada in September.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Obviously, with the U.S. team into the the semifinals and all that kind of stuff, so I can understand that. And I think, look, we've all been around the game and we've seen how agents immediately, it's like catnip as soon as they see that there is a vacancy, and they will use it to their advantage, especially when their clients are in the last year of the deal or negotiating a deal. And look, that's leverage. It's done all in business, so I don't begrudge them doing that. But I think we'll see more and more of that, because I do think that this is a valuable and a desirable type of position, whether you're using it for leverage or whether you actually want to do it. Again, maybe some malaise has crept in the way that I feel it, or some apathy. If it was Matarazzo the other day when that whole thing came out, I said, name him or don't name him. It's fine. Let's go. Let's just kind of do something. And I know that kind of runs counter to kind of want to get this one right and how important this is. But at some point, let's get this thing done and move on with whoever it is, man, woman, or child. Stu.
Look, I think that is the hardest part when it comes to this search. Is just about everybody has been throwing their name in the hat. And Doug, I'm curious, even as we continue to move this forward. I mean, even from a U.S. soccer perspective, they had a search the previous time and they hired Greg Berhalter. How many of those names do you feel that were in the mix the first time are still in the mix the second time now? Because, we hear the likes of Vieira and Cherundolo and Matarazzo. And look, everybody is being linked with this job because they know now U.S. Soccer said, look, we don't care. We have the money to pay whoever we feel is the best candidate for the job. And some big names have taken themselves out of the mix. But what's the sense you're getting at how big this pool is realistically from what you're hearing versus actually what that is on the ground?
I mean, there's two ways to look at it, right? U.S. is a top 15 national team in the world. So anytime a top 15 job opens, there's going to be interest. There's only so many coaching jobs to go around at the club level also. But I mean, the reality that I think U.S. soccer is running into here is that the club game is still where most coaches want to be. And, you can swing for the fences. You can go after Jurgen Klopp or any big name you want. But reality will set in at some point, and there are plenty of coaches that I think would be willing to take U.S. soccer's money. But finding the right fit is not, it's not as easy as just being able to write a check. It doesn't work like that. So I'm not sure that the pool is I do agree it's a desirable job, but I mean, is it as desirable as a job in the Premier League? Is it as desirable as a job in the Bundesliga? I mean, I wrote last month, even before Greg Berhalter was let go as U.S. coach, a list of potential candidates. And right up top, I said, Pellegrino Matarazzo is probably not going to leave a Bundesliga job to take the U.S. gig. And it appears that that's, the case. So I do think that the U.S. will land on somebody. I think they'll, I think when you spend money, you do get quality. But the fact that it's not happening as quickly as I think some people expected shows that it's not as simple as just snapping your fingers and making a hire.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.